Hi, I'm Debbie Cronister. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm glad you're joining me today. You can find me at stampwithdeb.com, and I am I'm on Facebook Live every Tuesday at 3 o'clock and Pacific time, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. Let's get started. I have a really fun project for you today. Hi, the project I have for you today is using the Perfect Pomegranate, which is from the Sale-a-bration catalog. You have to place a $300 order, but if you got a bunch of your friends together and you each placed a $50 order, first of all, they would get a Sale-a-bration item, and you could collect this if your order comes to $300 total. So when I first saw this, I didn't really like it. I just thought my life was complete without it, but when I started playing with it, then I knew I loved it. So let me get started today. Okay, so all the measurements are on my blog post at stampwithdeb.com. So I'm not going to tell you those measurements, although they're written on here. So this is 5 by 8, and I scored it at 1 inch, 2 3/4 inches, 5 1/4, and 6 1/2. And then we're going to take the bone folder here and just score those lines, doing a mountain valley fold. Okay, and then I have my card base, which is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And before we do anything on that, we're going to do some stamping. So I have some little strips that I've cut here that are 7/8 of an inch. And they're going to go on this base. So let me, actually these are 3/4 of an inch. And I am going to add some pretty leaves to this. So let's pull out my stamp set here. And for this one, I'm going to use the triple leaf. Forgot to grab my blocks. So, grab some blocks. Okay. And so I am just going to stamp kind of randomly. And this is with Soft Succulent. And I don't want to go too close because I am going to put something in between those. And just like that. And like I said, just kind of all over the place there with that triple leaf. Then I'm going to come in and with my Orchid Oasis. And there's a little tiny, it's the center of the flower. Oh, we haven't put it away. So it's right here on a dirty stamp, a block. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that, once again, kind of random. Any white space, any openings I see that I feel like they could use it. It helps kind of fill in that void that's there in between. We got a lot of void on this one. Okay, and then let's set that aside, and let's set this aside so I don't put my hands in it. And then I'm going to attach this to a piece of the Starry Sky, which is also one of our in colors, our new ones for this year, for 2022 through 24. So our in colors come and they stay for 2 years. And then they go away. And some of them have returned to become a permanent part of our color line. But it's always a guessing game who will come back. I'm hoping that this year we'll do a shuffle and we'll gain a few, or in 2023, and we'll gain a few new colors. Okay, so these are going to go right along here. Just, looks like I'm having a glue issue here. Okay, and I'm just going to leave a little bit of edge there. And attach that one. And this is on the card base that's 5.25, no, 5.5 by 4.25. I think I'm going to have to grab a tape. I'm going to grab a Stampin Seal out of my drawer over here. I have one all ready to go, which is nice. Okay. And then I am going to put the Stampin Seal in the center area. Oh, that's Stampin Seal Plus. Stampin Seal Plus and I don't get along real well. I have this issue. Let me grab just a Stampin Seal refill. I should have done this before I started my video, right? And I don't know why I have such a problem with that. I've seen so many people that love Stampin Seal Plus, and it just, me and him don't get along real well. So, but I love the Stampin Seal. Okay, come on, open up. There we go. And whenever you change these, you're going to pull this out and throw it away. And you want to kind of clean this up right in here, because there will be a little bit of stickiness in there. And I just peel that off and kind of put it in the trash there. And put in my new one. And we are ready to go. It snaps in there and off we go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this right in here, and it's going to go on either side of these. So it's going to go just like that. So it's in the center. And you want to center it top to bottom. Okay. Now, we could actually attach this piece. This is 3.5 by 5.5, and this is going to go on the front. And it's going to go attached to this panel here on the left. And this we want to center. Now, I did one recently where I cut it at 4.25 by 5.5, and that was kind of nice because I knew exactly where I was going with it. Whereas with this one, it's a bit of a guessing game. So I want an edge on each side, but I want it straight, and that doesn't always happen. And I haven't figured out how to make it exactly, to figure it out, other than to put the adhesive on there. Maybe if I put the adhesive on the back of my, of this, and then laid it down, it would be better. But that's fine there. Okay, now we have these two pieces that are going to go on the front, but we're not going to work on those yet. We're going to work on some more strips that I've cut. So on some of my cards that I'll show you, I use the designer series paper. On this one, I'm creating my own designer series paper. So I'm going to grab my little flower here, which is in the Perfect Pomegranate set. You'll be saying that one too many times fast, huh? And my Orchid Oasis. And I'm just going to stamp some flowers randomly down this, not too close together, because I want to come in here with my leaf. So there's another leaf, which is this one. And it's just a sweet little leaf, and I'm going to come in with my soft succulent and just stamp in between those, just to give it so I could go that way, and whoops, not too far up that way. And for this one, I'm just going to come in right off here. Okay, now I'm going to come back with my little dot and my Orchid Oasis. And I'm going to go in the center of my flowers. just like that. And then I'm also going to go just a little random here and there to once again give it a little there. I think that's it. Feels like it needs one more. Should have done this one differently. Let's try that one. Okay. All right. Now this one is going to get attached to this one, which is 1 3/8 by 5 3/8. So this is just a very small amount in between. And I am going to attach that with my Stampin' Seal, just like that. Oops, let go of my finger. And then this is going to go, and we only cut one of these because this, the other side that this one would go on, the other, if there was another one, is the piece that's underneath here. So this is going on this far right one. And there is not much difference in between as far as size. It's just, I cut it really snug. You could cut it down to a quarter of an inch less instead of 1/8 of an inch, and it would give you a little more of the background color. Okay, so then this one, we have 2 more pieces. And on these, we're going to use this stamp here that looks like, kind of looks like rain. And for this one, my stamp was damaged. It tore when I pulled it out of the package. So I have a couple more sets like this if I really am concerned. Or I could call Stampin' Up and they would replace it for me. So I'm just going to go straight down with this and just add some color to these 2 strips. Oops. Just like that. And then these are also going to go on a piece of the starry sky. And then that is going to go on the inside of my card. Just right in here. And it's ever so little of a space between. Whoops, let's get that straight. Ah, there we go. And on this one, we'll go right over here. I'm going to fold that back. Maybe. There it goes. And just come down a little and over a little and in a little. And there we are. Okay, now we finished the inside. No, we haven't. We should have one more piece right here. And on this one, I am going to stamp a little flower down here. Just right down here in the bottom. Like that. And put my little dots inside of there. Okay, and then I'm going to attach that to, I got a little blue here. Uh-oh. Can't put a piece of bling there. I could put another flower there. I could stamp another flower. And this is going to go in the center, and this is where you would write your note. Okay, or you can just sign there, and you know, it'll look like it's part of it. Okay, now let's go to the front of our card. And so here I have my soft succulent, and I have a great big leaf, which is this one right here. Grab a block for that one, and I am using a great big E-block for this. And so this is 3 3/8 by 5 3/8, and that's going to go onto the front here. And then this is going to go on the front of there. So let's move some of this out of the way. We have a nice spot here. And I'm just going to stamp this so that my stem is up in the corner. And my flowers will have a place to hang from. So then this is the flower that won me over. This is the one that I thought was the most beautiful flower in the whole set. And so that is the one I'm going to use. This is called a distinctive stamp set. And so it gives the shading. It's like a two-step stamp set, but it does the shading for you. You don't have to two-step it. So when I ink this, I don't want to ink my stem. So I'm going to give this a try and see how it's going to come out. If when you stamp, oops, that's the wrong pad. Let's clean that off. If when you stamp, your ink is really messy-like, let's see if I can make it do it. Yeah, look. See if you look at that, it's blotched, blotted, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to take a spoon and I am going to clean off, especially right there. That's where my ink needs to be cleaned off. And so I'm just going to press that ink down. However, to get it to ink that way on that edge is probably not going to work super great. Let's see how it works. Let me grab a scrap. That way we can see how it's going to stamp before we stamp on our paper, our final project. Okay, so let me just get that off there. And so I'm going to try inking it without getting the stem and going along that edge. It's got too much ink still. It's not too bad. That's better. But I'm afraid that it's not going to do what I want it to do. So I'm going to take a dauber that's clean, and I'm going to ink it up and not worry about it. Clean it off with my dauber, clean off my stem, just like that. And then I'm going to come in and stamp because I don't want my stem to be blue. So I'm just going to come in just like that. And look at that, that's gorgeous. So use your spoon to get your ink lowered in your level. The other way is to use a paper towel, but that's such a waste of ink. This way you can get it down lower and still not be wasting the ink because the ink's still in the pad. And then just, isn't that gorgeous? Those are such pretty flowers. I just want to stamp them, a ton of them. Okay, so the greeting that I'm using is Go To Greetings, and this is the set, and it's absolutely my favorite. I love these. These are perfect for fitting in a small area, and these are just that medium-sized greeting, and they're all just amazing. So we are going to use, let's see, I have to pick one that's going to fit in the space that I have. So I'm going to use the thank you. And that should work on this block. Let's just check it out, make sure, because it is kind of crooked on the block. Okay, now I want to pick up that ink, that intense ink. So I want to go around the edge of my pad and pick up some of that really strong ink. And I'm just going to go right there. And I have a crooked thank you. We're going to flip it over. I'm going to stamp the thank you first. Let's see if I can get it straight. I don't think I did. I didn't. Okay, so we're just going to let it go like it is. It's a downhill thank you. I have an idea. I have a really good idea. So it's crooked. So we're going to play on it. We're going to make our bling go crooked. And see if that will work. The other option, of course, would be to throw it away and start over. But not wanting to do that. And it's hard to stamp straight when you have a camera in your head and you're trying to keep your head out of the camera. If you don't know, try it. You'll find out that it is harder to stamp straight that way without sticking your head right over. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my bling crooked. Instead of putting my bling at the top like I would have up here, I am going to make it look like it's supposed to be that way, hopefully. We'll see how it looks. I'm getting ink from somewhere. One more down. It needs to go down a little further. There we go. And that way you almost don't even see that it is crooked. Not as much, maybe? I don't know. It was a good try, huh? All right. Thank you for joining me today. And